Just a quick warning, this is a long, meandering, rather pointless, self-indulgent video. If you're going to watch this, I recommend you don't. Just turn it on and fold your socks or clean up your room or something. It's not visually that interesting, unless you want to see the other side. I'll be shooting from over there where that camera is over there, so you get to see this side of the room. That's about it. But you know, after that, it's pretty much just listening to my sexy voice. So you've been warned. And that's about it. So thanks for listening and watching and all that crap. And on with the video. Hello there, morons. It's Victor, King of the Morons, here on the Gimmeabreakman channel. It's, I don't know, what time is it? It's 12:12 a.m. Wow, 12:12, cool. Yeah, you know, I have this thing of, I look at the watch and it's like 9/11 like all the time. Which has double meaning for me because my birthday's September 11th. You know, it's like, oh my God, that's so spooky, right? And of course, everyone, you know, associates 9/11 with the terrorist bombing. So there's also that. Little jack for you. You know, someone the other day, I made a video, 2 videos back. It's the 2013 greeting to all the morons. For those of you who are new, being called a moron is not an insult. It's a term of endearment. Anyway, they complained. They said, you know, Victor, I subbed you to watch you get drunk and ramble on and on. And actually in that video, I had quite a few drinks in me. Well, there's a few, because I've been out all night, you know, drinking amazake. I made a mistake in that video. I said amezake. It's ama. It's actually amazake. But it's sweet, like ame. Ame is candy. And anywho, so I was surprised that somebody complained, like, hey, you weren't drunk enough. You know, you weren't incoherent enough. I want you to be more incoherent. Now, I've got this, you can't see here, but there's a laptop over here to my right out of the frame. Oh, you can see it maybe. That corner. You can see that corner, right? And I've got the computer hooked up to the camera so I can see if I'm in focus. And apparently I'm in focus. What do you know? I look better out of focus, boom, boom. But don't all women, guys, I mean, and girls, don't all guys, right? But what was the point of that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so when I'm like this, I look like I'm fat, right? But it's just the wrinkles in this new top. My wife gave me this for Christmas. What do you think? It's from this company called Laundry, and I've actually featured their T-shirts on this channel before. The T-shirt's called the Laundry. The shirt's name, the company's name is Laundry, and you might remember from the Tomoko video that ronjiri is the way we say lingerie in Japanese, so it's confusing. So maybe that's why they call it laundry, because it sounds like lingerie. Maybe it's a goof, who knows, who knows. But they only sell T-shirts and you know, cotton, things like this. Anyway, it's pretty nice, got little pockets. And my wife's got one too, so we're like cute, you know, we go out, we're both wearing the same thing. Except she definitely doesn't have this, you know, but enough of that. Okay, so cheers, guys. So today is January 5th, and I guess a lot of people have been pretty busy, you know, with the vacation, you know, spending time with the family. I hope you have family to spend time with, or somebody to spend time with. It can be a lonely time if you're alone. If you're alone, hey, you got to reach out, try to spend time with somebody. Don't stay all alone. And if you do spend it all alone, don't feel too sorry for yourself, because a lot of people have that. I mean, well, I've never had that, but actually, I've been traveling. You know, I've gone traveling before, many times, and I've gone alone, and you always feel lonely for 3 or 4 days, and after that, you kind of feel, I don't know, free in a way, because having to be with friends and family, actually, in a way, is kind of limiting. It's kind of enslaving. I wouldn't say enslaving, but you know what I'm saying. It's more liberating to be free, to be alone. So there's that. But if you are alone, I'm sorry, and well, holidays are over, so that's good. You'll be with your coworkers soon. I don't know if that's good or not either, but at least you'll be with people, right? We are social animals. I go, you know, living in Japan, I go through these phases of years at a time where I'm with people, and then I'm alone. You know, I'll ostracize myself, self-ostracization, what's it called when you exile? Self-exile? No, there's a word for it. You know, I pretty much become a hermit for a few years, And then I become all social and go to the bars a lot, hang out with people. But after you get married, it kind of changes. You pretty much you spend most of your time, at least I do with my wife. I don't know how other married people do, but I think pretty much they do too. I remember growing up as when I was a kid, I was like, my mom and dad don't have any friends, but I didn't realize that. But not that they seemed unhappy. It just seemed like I was always out with my friends, and they were just together. But that's it. And that's what happens. So with that in mind, I guess divorce can be pretty devastating to some people, huh? Okay, enough of that. What am I here for? You might be wondering, right? Because I'm going on and on. Well, I rearranged my room. Big deal. I moved the desk over here. You can't really tell, next to the window. Though there's a window over there too, which the desk used to be over there. But now I've got all this room here. I got the new 27-inch here. This is a 24-inch over here. Again, not really important, except I can just do more work now. I've been this is like 4 or 5 years old now, so I've been waiting for this beautiful new computer, and it is beautiful. Though it's still, it's never quite as fast as you hope it's going to be, but it's still better than what it was. Well, why I'm here is just to do a couple thoughts, just a long rambling video. The first one, I guess. Well, we went out to the movies tonight. We went to go see Les Miserables. And it's funny because my wife was like, I want to go see Les Miserables. It's a musical, right? And guys, you're like, okay, she wants to see a musical. And guys, we don't like musicals that much. And I want to be open-minded. I want to be artistic. And then Hugh Jackman's in it, right? And Hugh Jackman is the man. Where's my Wolverine, right? Hugh Jackman, Wolverine coming out next year, maybe, I think. Is it next year? The new Wolverine movie coming out. Another X-Men movie coming out. It's going to be Wolverine again, twice. That's great, But it's a musical, and Russell Crowe's in it. And I got to tell you, Russell Crowe cannot sing. Or I know he's got his band and crap, whatever it's called. I forget in Australia, but he really can't sing very well. Hugh Jackman can sing, and then there's that Amanda, whatever her name is. She can sing. Seefeld. She can sing pretty well. And then there's Anne Hathaway, and she can sing well as well. I was also surprised to see that Sacha Baron Cohen was in it, or I don't know how, Sacha Baron Cohen. And he's pretty good, actually. I didn't recognize him until the end when his credits came up. Like, I was like, well, I know that guy, but... And Helena Bonham Carter, not as beautiful as I used to think she was. I used to think she was kind of, hot in a way, but she does have a kind of anime-looking face, kind of a strange-looking face. She was in it too. They were all great. But it's a musical, and really they got to sing everything. Like, I think there were only like 5 spoken lines in the whole movie. Basically, the whole movie was sung. And I got to tell you that this is what I thought. Okay, so everyone gets shown in their most ugliest light. The cinematography didn't make anyone look beautiful, and often unrealistic, like you see in most movies. Everyone looked like crap most of the time, even when they were like looking good. They didn't look that good. Hugh Jackman is supposed to, they keep saying 7 years later or 9 years later, but he looks the same the whole time in the movie, right? I think he's a little younger than I am, but so there's that. It's kind of annoying, but it's funny because at the end of the movie, my wife's like, I didn't know it was a musical. Like, she had just heard that it was a great movie from a coworker, and you got to go see it. So I gave her tickets for Christmas, among other things. I got her some other stuff too, not just movie tickets, right? And the woman next to us, and this was the funny thing. The woman next to us, it's like all a Japanese audience, right? And it's a song. The whole thing's a musical, right? But it's all subtitled. But despite that, the woman next to me was bawling. Well, next to Yoko, actually, just bawling. It was kind of weird. Like, I don't know if I could just cry by reading subtitles of a Japanese person, roles reverse of a Japanese person singing. I don't think it would do anything for me. I would be like, it's a nice song, but I don't know what she's saying. I'm just gonna read the subtitles, but I don't think the subtitles would have made me cry. But again, that's not why I'm here. It's just extra stuff. Why I'm here is to unblock a couple jerks, people I blocked. I won't even label them. People that I have blocked, and I want to talk about them a little bit. One of them was a guy named NovaJoke. Now, NovaJoke a lot of foreigners do not like this guy, and would even classify him as a hater. But I will go so far as to say I actually agree with a lot of what he says, but I wanted to kind of well, talk about his position, which is that foreigners are I think he's the one who says Gaijin parasites. So why don't we just talk about the word about Gaijins and Gaijin parasites, and what is a Gaijin parasite? Now, first of all, if you got your ass to Japan, you can't be that much of a loser. Because, from what I've heard, I don't know if this is actually true, 50% of Americans don't even own a passport. So the fact that you got off your ass and went down to wherever you get passports, where do you get passports? It's not the DMV, but wherever you get the passports, you know, you went outside and you got your picture taken, and you applied and you filled out some applications and stuff. Then you collected enough money to get a plane ticket to get your ass over here. That's half the battle. And you went to college, probably, most of you, to get to Japan. So the fact that you're in Japan alone kind of doesn't mean you're the biggest loser in the world. That's one thing, right? Another thing to remember is that if the word parasite, like these guys are, oh, you're such a parasite. The word parasite implies you are only taking. And to blame foreigners for coming to Japan to do work that they are employed for is kind of ridiculous. You know, now, I'm not saying, actually, NovaJoke doesn't really say that. He just doesn't like disrespectful Gaijin, and neither do I. I don't like those guys either. Though I've actually probably fallen into that category on occasion. Yeah, so NovaJoke, I'll tell you why he got blocked, okay? Well, first of all, if you don't know who he is, he goes around on all the Gaijin videos just telling foreigners to just go back to America and you guys suck, right? And he used to do that to me, but then I guess he watched more of my videos and he realized that we kind of agree on quite a few things. One of those being that disrespectful foreigners suck, right? We both agree on that point. And but the reason I blocked him was because he kept bringing up, he kept asking me to do videos about foreigners who had been arrested and for doing something illegal, and they were appearing. It's actually a very interesting point. He was annoyed about foreigners who had been arrested for doing things illegally here, you know, breaking the law, and articles about them would appear in Japanese newspapers, but not in the big foreign newspapers. So, meaning you wouldn't see anything in the English media. Like there wouldn't be anything in Japan Times or Japan Today or Mainichi Journal or Asahi, the English versions of all those newspapers. There was nothing. And he pointed out something just the other day about some, I think it was Peruvians or Brazilians who had been arrested for forging documents, you know, and they were arrested here. So he wanted me to do videos about that. You know, I'm like, you know, okay, yeah, it's bad, but I don't have the time. Like I do videos about what I want to do videos about, and I'm doing videos about this, which is kind of stupid too, I admit, but it's what I want to talk about, you know. I want to talk to you, I want to connect with you guys about, you know, from here, you know. I want to talk about Les Miserables and how I'm annoyed by people singing all the time, right? And I want to talk about this mentality that, you know, you're a loser if you're over here. Now, I mean, there are quite a few people here who are just jerks when they're over here, and they I guess what happens is some of them let the power go to their head in a way. Now, I'm going to speculate here, and I'm probably going to catch some slack for it, but I was when I lived back in the States, all right, I was the exotic looking guy in my community, whatever. I had long hair. I didn't have glasses. My eyes were still good then. I had really long hair, and I wore, you know, ponytail because I was young. If you have a ponytail when you're my age, you're just like annoying. So you should be punched in the face. But I, you know, I always had a tan. I was quite athletic. I used to ride my bicycle every morning at 5 to 6 a.m. for a couple hours in Central Park. And you know, you know, not to say I was the stud, but I had a steady girlfriend. That's all you really had to know. I mean, I didn't suffer from, oh, I've never had a girlfriend. I wasn't a complete dweeb, right? But I do understand, apparently, you know, that some guys come over here and they've never enjoyed any kind of social success in their own countries. And then when they come over here, they suddenly have social success for whatever reason. Usually it's because they're blonde or blue-eyed or they're Western or for whatever reason, you know, they're, you know, and I've seen this happen in the States as well, like with British guys. There'll be British guys who come over to New York City, and all they have to do is speak with a British accent, and the American girls just love it. Oh, say something. And I mean, you've seen this. I think this was in the movie Love Actually as well. And that guy was like a super dweeb or something. But what, you know, it's true. Opposites attract, or things that are foreign, you know, seem cool to you. And this is a rambling video, so I'm going to go off on some tangents here. And you don't give me crap. This isn't an organized video. This is a blah blah blah. So my brother-in-law got married to my sister, which is how he became my brother-in-law. And before the wedding, like we all went down to South America. We had this massive, big wedding in South America. And we went to my future brother-in-law, I guess I should have said at that point. He rented a big a deep sea fishing boat. You know, we're all going to go out deep into the ocean. We're going to go marlin fishing, or you know, big long-nosed fishing, sailfish fishing. And I went out there with my brother, my other brother-in-law, who's already married to my other sister, my future brother-in-law, some friend of my sister's who's a really great guy. I forgot his name. Well, I know his name, but I'm going to say it on camera. But I guess there were 4 of us and me. So, and we're all like, you know, middle-aged, slightly overweight, except for one of us, drunk. You know, we're all just drinking on the boat, and we're on this boat, and you know, we're fishing, right? And we end up catching this one marlin, and it's beautiful. And we all take pictures with it, but basically the whole day is basically shot. It's like 6 hours in the water with, I think, 2 of us throwing up during that time. But here's the interesting part. We get back to the boat, which is at this guy's house that we rented it from, and we paid like $500 or something. I don't remember, for the whole day. I don't remember exactly, but this guy, he's like some kind of he's a dangerous motherfucker. Like, he's the kind of guy you don't want to fuck with. He's the captain. He's this big, gorilla-looking, white, bald guy. He's like, he'd come down from the States to, you know, live his life in Guatemala, you know, selling his boat out, or renting his boat out to tourists like us. And the funny thing is, like, me and my brother and one other guy, we all look Latin. We're all dark and everything. My other brother-in-law is blonde, blue-eyed, and I wouldn't say he's like the most dashing-looking guy. Like, in the States, he'd be like, he's kind of just a nerd or something, or you know, he wasn't extreme. He wasn't the best-looking guy in the group, I would say, from a objective point of view, if that's possible. But you know what I'm saying. In the States, he wouldn't have been considered, you know, much of anything. And one of the other guys was Korean-looking, or Asian-looking. Maybe he was Korean. I don't remember, actually. But so we go back, and this guy that we rented the boat from, he's like, let me get some hookers, because you guys are having a bachelor party, right? And I'm like, no. Well, it's kind of a bachelor party. He's like, oh, no, I already called them. They're on their way. And the weird thing about this place where we're at, it's kind of like a compound. Like, there's these like 3 meter or 4 meter, seriously, steel gates that open up before you come in, because you have to drive in, and there are armed guards there, right? Because this is I don't know if I told you, this is Guatemala, right? And you can just like rent, you can hire people for like pennies on the dollar. You know, it's amazing. You can probably hire a maid for like $100, couple $100 a month, right? So I guess maybe he's got these armed guards. Maybe they cost $500 a month each or something, and they've got like you know, guns, like rifles. I don't remember what they were, to be honest. I think they were automatic rifles of some sort, but he had 2 on the door, and this truck. So this truck pulls in with these girls. This truckload full of girls. And we're all uncomfortable because, you know, am I married at that point? I don't remember if I'm married yet, but I'm definitely with Yoko. You know, she's at the hotel with all the girls. We're all, it's only guys, right? All the girls are back at this posh hotel, which again, you know, was really cheap but beautiful. So we're all alone, and all these like prostitutes show up, you know, and none of us wanted this, you know. I mean, we're all guys, but we're all family, so none of us are gonna do it. You know, we're not into this, right? Into the scene. So these girls show up, and long story short, we're like kind of forced to party with them, on this guy's dime. Like, he's like, no, I paid for it, so you gotta stay, you know, hey dude, don't insult me, you know. And he's like this gorilla, like I said, he's a gorilla looking guy who carries guns around, right? And he's got like armed guards around the whole compound, and they're all like, you know, it was one of those really uncomfortable situations where you're like, oh God, we just better just play along until this kind of plays out. But here's the point of the whole thing. All the prostitutes were interested in my blonde, blue-eyed brother-in-law. Like, none of them were interested in anyone who looked Latin at all. And I know they're just prostitutes. I'm like, you shouldn't be, and like, oh, Victor, you're just jelly. No, it wasn't that. It was just weird. Like, all the girls were after him. But, you know, theoretically, they should have just assumed we all had money, right? I mean, I don't know. It was just weird. So that's quite a tangent, I realize. But the same thing back in the States. Like, in the States, I was the exotic looking one, so with the long hair and Latin or whatever. I don't know what they thought I was. It's years and years ago. But in the States too. I mean in Japan too. You come over here, if you've never had the attention of a female, if you've never had female attention, then you might go power hungry or something, or power crazy. You know, when you suddenly start being able to pull, as they say. And that's what happens here. And some guys become real assholes here. And the other thing is, like, you start realizing that you can take advantage of the Japanese hospitality. And a lot of foreigners become assholes when they come over here. I just saw a comment by one of my loyal, nice subscribers. Nice guy. You know, he's been commenting on my videos for a long time. And suddenly, out of the blue, he says, I'm of European descent and my mom's British or something, so when I go to Japan, I'm going to get a lot of pussy. Basically, he said, you know, I'm going to be swimming in pussy. That's what he said. I'm like, really? You actually left that comment? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I mean, come on. I don't know. I mean, shouldn't you somehow respect women a little bit more than that? Which brings me back to Les Miserables, because in that movie, I thought that was pretty sexist, where Hugh Jackman doesn't tell his adopted daughter about his criminal past, but he decides to tell his adopted daughter's future husband. And it seemed to me pretty sexist. Like, really, you trust him, but you don't trust your own daughter, who you've spent like over 10 years with now. You know, it just seemed crazy to me. Whatever. Anyway, so back to NovaJoke. And I'm not apologizing for being so meandering. I'll make sure that the beginning of this video says it's a long meandering blah blah video. I haven't done one of these in a while, but so NovaJoke is this guy that goes around on a lot of Gaijin videos and tells everybody what losers they are, and tells them to get the fuck out of the country, right? And there's like 3 or 4 of these Japanese, and the other thing is, I don't even know if they're really Japanese, you know, because their English is pretty good, but they like to go around and tell people to get the hell out of Japan, which is it's just kind of pointless, you know. I mean, seriously, no one's gonna listen to you. No one is gonna leave Japan because of a YouTube comment. No one is gonna say, "Oh, Japanese hate me. Look at this comment I got. I'm gonna leave." Your best bet, if you want to get rid of foreigners, is go tell a foreigner. Like, go up to a foreigner and tell him, get the fuck out of my country. That might, you know, encourage him more. That might have a little more impact, a little more influence than leaving a YouTube comment. NovaJoke. Then again, I don't actually dislike NovaJoke. I kind of like NovaJoke. He actually makes a lot of sense. But here's why I blocked him. And I don't block people lightly. I block people if they if they say things that are just over the line. And he did. He went off about the Sandy Hook, was it? The Sandy Hook, the shootings, you know, with all the children were shot. And he basically used that very, very sad incident as a reason to prove for somehow that somehow became like a weapon in his, you know, in his bat belt, you know, a little tool to, Victor, aren't you lucky that you live in this country, in Japan, where this kind of shit doesn't happen? You're taking advantage, you're benefiting from the fact that that would never happen here in Japan. But the thing is, I look at that incident, and as much as I'm really against guns, and I think it's great that Japan doesn't have a gun, they're impossible to get here pretty much. But you know what happened was a crazy guy somehow got his hands on weapons, and attacked all those poor children and killed them all. And there's nothing you could have done that could have stopped him. And this is one case where I think, well, yeah, maybe, you know, maybe even if guns, even if he hadn't been able to get guns, maybe he would have used knives or something. I mean, he went after children, right? And yeah, maybe an adult could have gotten in the way if it had been only a knife, or a few knives, you know. But he obviously went after a school where the children were defenseless. He didn't go after a group of adults where it would have been much harder. Adults are much harder to control. As you know from the 9/11 attacks, you know, there was one plane where apparently the passengers overpowered the terrorists. So you never know what's going to happen when you have adults with a little bit more will, a little bit more experience. They're harder to deal with than children. The point being, you know. But when you're dealing just with children, it's a lot easier to kill them. So this guy obviously just wanted to kill, right? So what happened in Sandy Hook, was it? Is a tragedy, and I felt terrible about that. Of course, I mean, who wouldn't? But NovaJoke was basically saying, see, you know, we're better than you are. I'm like, no, dude, no. And that shit happens all over the place. Like, I think the exact same week there was this very similar incident in China where some guy walked into a school and like stabbed a bunch of kids a few days prior to this killing, the shootings. And it's happened in Japan too before, or China. I don't remember, but it's happened. Like people, you know, there's a guy, the Akihabara case, like a couple of years ago. A guy drives his car into a crowd of people, jumps out, and with a knife starts stabbing people randomly. I mean, that kind of shit happens. Insanity is something that just exists. It's the X factor, you know, of humanity, and you can't prepare for it. You can't be ready for that. You know, you never know what kind of insanity is going to happen. I mean, just people lose it and they start doing crazy shit. And no matter how many laws you have, if someone starts doing that, there's pretty much nothing you can do. You know, all you can hope for is that one person is going to jump in and stop the guy before it goes too far. So I was annoyed with NovaJoke going on and on about how Japan is better because we have these laws and USA sucks kind of thing. Not that I'm Mr. Pro USA, America #1, you know. I mean, I do love America and everything, but I just thought it was, you know, it was in bad taste to to use that incident as a way to argue, to make to forward your agenda, so to speak. So you know. That was one thing. There was one guy I blocked. Another guy I blocked, I don't remember his name. So anyway, but I've unblocked all these people, by the way. So NovaJoke, if you're watching, you're unblocked. But you have no tact. That's a stupid argument to make. You have to know when to talk about something. Oh yeah, the other thing is, NovaJoke, if you want someone to make videos about, you know, other foreigners doing crimes, I'll tell you what, I'll make them for you, but you've got to prepare it all. You've got to give me the Japanese article. You've got to pick out a few Japanese expressions that I teach, because, you know, I only really talk about the news if I'm teaching some Japanese. Give me a translation as well, right? So I can put them in the links, right? and I'll do the video. But until you do that, I'm not going to do it because it's just too much work. I don't have the time. However, this is YouTube, and you are free to make those videos. And if NovaJoke does choose to make videos showing his face on camera and talking about these incidents that are important to him, I will gladly shout out his channel and promote those videos. So there you go. What else could you ask for? You know. So get off my back with this. You know, make videos about this or that. I don't make videos for you. I make videos for me. That goes to everybody. You know, don't. Someone else asked me to make some video about something about his short story that he wrote. I'm not going to make a video about your short story. I don't know about your shorts. It doesn't matter to me. You know, I make videos about things that matter to me, and I hope that what I talk about matters to my viewers. And sometimes I'm just self-indulgent. And I don't care if my viewers care. I just make the videos anyway. So yeah. So that's one guy. Another guy that I blocked. This is just a funny one. He was on my video about the comfort women in America. I mean, I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, comfort women. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Do I have to explain this? Okay. Many years ago, Japanese and Koreans had a conflict, and Japanese forced comfort women into forced Korean women into prostitution, and they called them comfort women, ianfu, comfort women. That's kind of a bullshit speak, you know, BS speak. That's what the Japanese called these prostitutes that they forced to work for the Japanese military, and the army would, you know, go and screw them, you know, and basically mass rape them. And apparently they paid them, but it was like pennies. It's basically it was slavery, you know, sexual slavery. And I made a video about it, and some guys like, prove it. Like, no, dude, I'm not gonna prove it in the comments. There are plenty of articles out there, the people who provide proof about it. There are many books about it. I'm not going to prove the comfort women really existed in the comment section. And this guy went on, and he started talking about my mother's vagina and my wife's vagina, and then I blocked him. Okay, because I was like, okay, that's enough. You're kind of getting off the topic. And he was basically, I was making fun of him, you know, too, because he said I was Fanny. Oh, you're trying to be Fanny, and Fanny, F-A-N-N-Y, not funny. So I made fun of him, and I pointed out that in American English, Fanny was the buttocks or the bottom, and in England, I don't know if you guys know this, but Fanny apparently in England is the vagina. I didn't really know that, and I know a lot of Brits, but they never talk about that. They say twat or cunt, and they use it not referring to the vagina, towards each other. British are pretty funny about that. They're like, you twat, you cunt. You know, Americans don't do that. We think that's pretty disgusting. But anyway, so I blocked this guy. So here's the funny thing. So he starts emailing I don't remember which account, but either gimmeabreakman, gimmeaflakman on Gmail. And he emails me these long mails in Japanese, you know, declaring that I'm unfair and I shouldn't block him, and then one of them is like a letter to my wife, like a long letter. Please, you know, educate your husband how it's unfair for him to do this to me. The guy's just crazy. So it's funny because I kind of forced, like, Yoko doesn't care at all. My wife doesn't give a shit about YouTube. I mean, she barely watches any video at all. She'll watch 1 out of every 50 videos, right? And probably only if the dogs are in it or I'm doing something really silly. So but I forced her to read the letter. I'm like, isn't this funny? And she's like, aho, you know, or idiot. But it's just ridiculous how upset some people get over being blocked. The last person I blocked, which I recently unblocked, was a guy named Tokyo Joe, who's kind of been on my radar, peripheral, you know, vision for like a year now. He emailed me this really arrogant mail about how he was so great and wonderful and demanding promotion, you know, like, I'm going to get 500 subs in a month, and he didn't ask for it. He kind of demanded. I erased his mail, so I couldn't find it, so I can't really read it back to you. But just take it from me. I've gotten a lot of emails. His email was like, look, I'm great, and I drink really expensive. He's stuck on the quality of whiskey that he drinks. Apparently, that's very important for him. I don't remember the brand because I usually drink Jack. Jack is my lower whiskey. I like Knob Creek, but I save that for special occasions. Not that you're not special, but the bottle's already open. I don't want to open up that beautiful bottle. Yeah. But anyway, Tokyo Joe. I think his name was the Tokyo Forum in those days. He went off. He sent me these private emails about how he's drinking his beautiful whiskey of whatever it is, 12-year-old whatever whiskey, and he's not drinking the whatever crap I'm drinking, which obviously he doesn't know what I'm drinking, so whatever. So I ignored him, and then and I told him, that's not the way you talk to somebody. You don't just like assault somebody in an email and demand shit. And I felt he was rude, so I returned. I returned the attitude, and apparently he got butt hurt, and he went off and wrote some kind of blog on me that someone told me about. I glanced at it. I didn't really read it, but obviously he was upset. But nobody reads his blog. He's basically just some crazy old guy. Okay. And here's the weird thing. He persists on making these videos, and you can check him out. I mean, they're really, really creepy. He makes these videos with no face, just a picture of something, and the worst microphone you could possibly. I don't know what he's taping with. It's like it's the quality of his mic. He's got no visual quality because it's just a photograph or some picture that he scrawled. It looks like some child with some kind of mental problem drew this picture. In fact, they'd probably do it better. No, seriously, they probably do it something more endearing. His just looks kind of creepy, and he's got this creepy like, "Hey, here's Tokyo Joe now." And he does, and the reason I blocked him was because he kept going on to people's videos and just spamming them with his advertising his own channel. Like, hey, I got a video on that. Check out my video. And it was just so pathetic. And I was, I started erasing his videos, his comments, and then I finally just blocked him because it was just too much trouble, So he got all upset, and he's one of these passive aggressive motherfuckers, who's like, oh, I'm a good person, and I know, and I'm better than you, but I'm not insulting you, just whiner. But here's the thing. The reason I'm mentioning him is that I did watch one video. I think he did a video response to Tokyo Sam, TKO Sam, Sam, and it actually kind of made sense. But it was just such a pain to listen to because of the quality was just so poor. So I told the guy, I said, dude, improve your quality. And I'm talking to you right now, Tokyo Joe. Improve your quality. If you're so wealthy that you can buy the expensive whiskey, then surely you can go out and buy a 4,000 yen mic. A 4,000 yen mic. This thing costs 12,000 yen. This might be out of your league, but there's a 4,000 yen Samsung GoPro mic you can get. I think it's called Go Mic, maybe Go Mic. I made a video on it. If you're so successful, and if you've seen ESL teachers like me come and go over the years, you're so much better than me, then I'm sure you can somehow, find the money to go out and get a microphone that doesn't make you sound like the biggest creeper in the world. The other thing about you, Tokyo Joe, is I'm so well liked on YouTube, he says, by your own admission, you've been divorced 4 times. I just saw the movie Slevin. If somebody calls you a horse once, you might say no, disagree. If they call you twice, you say no, dude, I got no hooves. If 3 people call you a horse, maybe you should go out and buy a saddle. Yeah, so that wasn't supposed to be funny, but yeah, 4 women divorced you. Maybe there's something wrong with you, man. Maybe you're just an asshole. I'm just throwing it out there, Anyway, that's my long blog. But but like I said, Tokyo Joe, you go out there, put your face on cam, like NovaJoke. Put your face on cam. You want to promote your opinion. I'm not against your opinion. I'm against your anonymity and your hateful comments. You don't have the balls to to go on camera like I'm doing. I don't think you do. But if you do, I will be the first one to make a video promoting your channel. I will. So do it. Do it. Give us your point of view. I highly encourage it. I don't care if you agree with me. That's fine if you don't. But put your money where your mouth is, you know. Don't just talk behind your photograph of whatever that you ripped off the internet or that you drew, you know. Don't be a pussy. Put your face on cam. Come on, man. I'll be the first to promote you. And if you can't do that, then shut the fuck up. And leave my videos alone. Because I'll keep erasing you and I'll block you again. You're unblocked now. Let's see if you can behave, right? And NovaJoke, I would really like you to come on cam. Because I actually agree with a lot of what you say, you know. But again, don't demand me to make your videos. To make your videos, you know. You want to say something, you say it yourself. Okay, that's my self-indulgent long 40, I don't know how long this is, 40 minutes or so. But thanks for watching, everyone. And the next few videos are much more important to me, and I will be putting them up very soon. Those will be videos about the new year and how I spent it. Very exciting. Using the GoPro camera, I went out and filmed a lot of people as I was in the crowds and stuff. It was a lot of fun. And Les Miserables, I wouldn't go see it. Do you really have to sing everything? Seriously? Is that really how things got to be? I mean, seriously, come on. Talking is fine, right? Anyway, if you saw Les Miserables, if you've got anything to say about this, please leave it in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.